All right, everybody. Happy Tuesday. We are live.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Rhonda. Hey, I got to get used to
Uh,
this name
You
change.
better, you better, you better. I saw your mouth about to go the wrong way on that name.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah.
else to do. It's down there.
Yeah. That's what stopped me. I was like, so how has everybody's week been?
No complaints here.
I ain't gonna complain even if it's not a good week. So it's always a great week. Especially when we come here to vent and let loose. I can't wait to hear what the topic is.
So actually, there was a new topic inserted due to circumstances of the Oscars.
Uh-oh.
I'm just kind of curious how what's everybody's thoughts on that?
Okay, I'll go first. I'll jump right in there. And Rhonda and I sometimes we think alike. So I ain't trying to steal your answer, Rhonda, okay?
Okay.
But when it comes to this BS, we be thinking alike. So I know he kind of, I posted it on TikTok because if you watch initially, like in the immediate, his immediate response was to chuckle, the Hollywood chuckle. He
Mhm.
did that kind of the courtesy chuckle. But then he went and slapped the guy. First, I thought it was staged because I'm like,
I
these are
did too.
comedians. This is a skit. And the way it was like a bitch slap. It wasn't even like a real, I'm coming at you and I'm mad. It was like open hand, kind of slap. I say, last but not least, he slapped the wrong guy. If he gonna slap somebody, slap you know who for doing you know what to his wife. Cause that's way Chance love to be in the background, don't he? This
He
this
does.
this show don't stop him. I'm telling you. But that's my response. I don't really have one in favor or not, but the only thing it looks staged to me initially. And then I say, if you're gonna man up and slap somebody, slap August or Austin or whatever his name was.
So I think
Okay,
that the two instances have nothing to do with each other. Although I did hear somebody say kind of the same thing that you did, Coach Tony. I just think, well, I think several things. I think that Jada's response kind of forced Will or made him feel like he needed to respond. I'm not saying that how he responded was necessarily right, but I do feel like he felt like he needed to protect his wife in that moment, and that's just how it came out. That's how it came up, how it came out. That's what it is. Shit happens. Do you know what I mean? And unfortunately, it was on national television in front of all the world, right? And I think Chris Rock handled it like a champ
He sure
because
did.
several things could have happened right behind that. And their comments and their behavior since all of this has transpired has been a class act, and that's my opinion.
what you got
Kim,
to say, Kim?
y'all, we got to jump in there because I was watching the video and they when that dead air hit, it hit like it'd be 30 seconds or 2 seconds, but it seemed like 25 or a minute. So
So I'm just withholding my thoughts for the end to give everybody a chance to respond.
Well, I think, and Tracy, you and I kind of talked about this. He had a lot of stuff going on, and he was okay with it at first. Like you said, he was kiki, and it was all funny until he saw Jada roll her eyes like that shit wasn't funny. And then he decided, oh, well, I guess I better stand up for my wife because I was reading in his book that when he was growing up, he never was one of those protecting type people. He was always the one who never fought, that he was always trying to make a game out of everything. And so this, in my opinion, was his chance to say, oh, well, you know, I had never stood up for anybody. So this is my chance to stand up for somebody, you know, because I was always the one that was getting beat up, chased or whatever. Whereas my siblings, my younger siblings were the ones who were doing all the fighting for me. Here I am. I got my chance to shine. I'm about to fight somebody for my wife on behalf of my wife. But Chris Rock, he was ready to get after him because he was like, ooh, you know what? Yeah, never mind. He was ready to get after him now. He should have slapped his ass back. I would have.
I know that's right. That's why I said he handled it well.
What did the 5 fingers say to the face?
So I had a lot of thoughts because I saw the thing because I don't watch the Oscars. First of all, somebody shared it with me when I was like, well, what the heck happened? And somebody shared it with me. I saw Will laugh. I saw Jada look like the fuck. And I saw the slap. So for me, my thought process there were several things going on in the background. Somebody suggested he was tired of a year's worth of memes talking about August. He was tired of people talking about his wife. He was tired, blah, 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 yap, yap, yap. And I was like, yeah, that's fair to say. But then there was another thing that said, would he slap Jimmy Kimmel for saying the same thing? The other side of it, I think husband and wife are supposed to protect each other, because I just kind of feel like they have some type of relationship. They could have handled that in a different time and space. Although Jada was upset, I think they could have handled it in a different space, because isn't the wife also supposed to protect the husband? She could have told him, no, don't handle this like this right now. That's just my thought process. She could have protected, like he was protecting her. I think she could have protected him. There was an article that had been talking about how she's been in an emotional state since she's discovered that she has alopecia, because that's what it is. And her family is seeing her struggle with it. So, I mean, I think it was just a lot of emotion with the whole situation, and he just reacted based off of her reaction. I think maybe the other part, I didn't know that he wouldn't fight. Everybody else would fight on his behalf. But you picked the wrong time, because now they are talking about maybe taking his Oscar as if a slap affects his body of work.
The other thing I feel about the whole, the other side to this, when you live your life in public like they do, everybody knows that they have an open relationship. She was on Instagram shaving her hair. You get kind of invited in for that. You kind of invite that type of scrutiny and jokes and memes when you are not private with what you have going on. It's kind of like, oh, it's okay. And then so I think that Chris Rock, I don't think he was doing any more than being what he was paid to do, a comedian.
Right.
And comedians go for the jugular sometimes. DL Hughley, especially the older ones, like from our age. And that's where he's from. So you roasting is kind of a loving gesture in a sense. And he said what a lot of people were thinking, because as soon as I saw when I saw it, I don't watch the Oscars either, but when I saw it and he said it, I cracked up, because I was like, damn, that's what I was trying to remember. Demi Moore, that's what she reminded me of. And that's the G.I. Jane reference that he made. I didn't think that it was that offensive, because it was.
Well, I did. And based on what his formal statement was, and he actually said himself, had he known well, first off, that he did not know that she had alopecia, and had he known, he never would have made that joke. And that even as a comedian, when people have conditions and they're going through life things such as that, he does not joke about those things.
My comment is based on not knowing that, because when I saw her shave her hair, I've seen her go through so many different looks. I didn't think twice about it. I didn't even stop to say, is this a medical condition? Is this what she's got going on? What's causing this? I just was like, that's Jada being Jada. They out there.
He didn't know either.
Right. So that's the part I'm saying. It wasn't done in a malicious sense. And I think
no, it wasn't.
I think some people are trying to say Will Smith has some mental stuff going on. And maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but there's some sort of movie or something that's coming out. Have you all heard of it? Where he did like some sort of documentary. He let camera crew follow him for a certain time frame, however long it was, but they caught him in some compromising situations. I don't know that to be true. That's what I heard on another podcast, and they were discussing, because that's how I found out it happened. Okay. I was on TikTok scrolling, and then there was a live going on, and they were talking about Will slapping the shit out of Chris Rock. And I was like, oh man, what did I miss? And that's how I saw it. So I didn't know any other background, but that's what they were saying, that, you know, he has he has a mental issue.
Well, you know, I think they're real quick to dismiss mental issues when people start being themselves. I'm just saying, it has to be a lot of pressure being in Hollywood with people always looking at you, being in entertainment with people always looking at you, watching what you're doing, and having an opinion about your lifestyle based on a moment. We talked about that last week, where all of us are in business, and as business grows, people are going to be looking at us. You can't, they don't expect you to be wearing this or doing that or saying the other thing. That's why I think this platform is particularly important, just because we are women. We are women. We are mothers. We are business owners. There's a lot to us besides Wealth T. There's a lot more to us in Mugs and Such and TME. TME LLC and One Authentic Woman. So I think it's important for people to have an understanding. Yes, I have a business, or yes, I'm in entertainment, but I have a life outside of this. But when you choose to give people a certain look into your life or peek into your life, you are inviting opinions that you may or may not like.
Yeah,
I agree.
So this is the end of Women's History Month. And normally last year we did something for Women's History Month. This year we're coming to the end. All of us are women in business. And the importance of acknowledgement of that is because we doing that shit.
Right.
Basically, we doing it, no matter what the stumbling blocks are, the hurdles, the hurricanes, or whatever. We making it happen, whatever way we can make things happen. So, Women's History Month started off as a day, and then it turned into a week. And it was only in the United States, and then it went to England, and now it is worldwide. And I don't see why we should just have it as a Women's History Month, because without women, there'd be no life. That's just my thought. There would be no life. When you add a woman to a house with a man, she creates a home. A woman houses the eggs that births a baby. Her ideas birth businesses. Cleopatra, she brought down kingdom.
Say it.
And the other part of that, I don't know that you all knew this, but Cleopatra wasn't even good looking.
I did not know that. You
No.
knew?
No, I didn't know.
I was
No,
getting ready to say, I thought she was supposed to be beautiful. Whenever I see the portrait or anything that is supposed to be her, it's a beautiful thing.
Right.
That's
No.
interesting.
So Cleopatra was very smart. She was charismatic. Not just regular smart. She was above average smart.
Like all of us. Like
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4. This right here. Yes.
Above,
Yes.
above average. She was back in those days, in order to keep their bloodline, you know, they would marry people within the family. She was supposed to marry her, right. So she was supposed to marry her brother. And she was apparently smarter than her brother, better than her brother, or whatever. So he sent Mark Antony in to try to sway her. His goal was actually to kill her.
Wow.
My goodness.
Because
this is a lesson right here.
Because
Right.
he didn't want her to learn. So I think as women, and as we end Women's History Month, that we deserve a round of applause. We deserve to have an understanding that we should support each other, not just to like, not just to comment, not just to share, but we all play important roles in each other's lives. Some directly, while other ones not so directly.
That's true.
I agree with that. I agree.
That's right.
Yep.
So
I don't know if Kim agrees. She off on her own little thing right now.
she's probably talking to Aiden.
Yeah, but she got look at it. She got that mama face on too.
Right.
Right.
She's frowning. She's frowning.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say in regards to Women's History Month. It's more than a month. It's a day. It's every day we live in it. Every day we're in business. Every day we're going to work. Every day we're raising children and grandchildren, and we're living our lives. And who's that to say it's a lifestyle? It is a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
it is a lifestyle. So I have some other topics that I want to talk about. I don't know if you all got the opportunity to view, and I'm going to figure out how I can share some of these good videos that I've been sending you all. But this is by one of my favorite people, Stephanie Sinclair. And she said something along the lines of what I said a couple of years ago, that you are the star of your own show, and you get to pick your supporting cast, and you get to write people out, and you don't have to necessarily keep them in your story. And we as women, that's important to have an understanding that we get to choose the people, places, and things that are in our lives. Not just for people, but people in general should know that, but women especially, because we do not have to accept what is offered to us, because it's offered to us.
Right.
There are other things that are available.
I agree, because you have to get rid of people that don't belong. And that was my thing I said back in December. You know, if you can't make time for me, I can't make time for you. We're done. If you can't, the phone work both ways, via text, phone call, whatever. Even if you just can't say, "Hey boo, I'm still alive, just checking in on you." If I can do that for you, you can do that. You can do that for me. But if you can't, I choose just to say, I'm done with you. So I talked to maybe about 2 or 3 people outside of my family, and that's it.
I feel like on every level, reciprocity is mandatory in my business relationships. It just keeps balance in our life, and especially in my romantic relationships. Family, they get a low key pass because I may not disown them, but there's that distance there. So they there and you love them, but you love them from a distance. Because y'all made me start going and reading the Bible just to hang out with you. So the Bible says, but that's why I'm the family. I get them kind of a pass, not a pass where it hinders or it makes me feel awkward. Because I may have to mention this every show till y'all get it. I don't do awkward. So if I feel awkward about something and I'm uneasy, I'm just not gonna do the shit. We just too grown and life is too short to do shit that make us uncomfortable when we make choices and decisions. So yeah, I agree. Reciprocity is mandatory in every relationship I have. Everyone. And I'm with you, Kim. If you can't call me and check on me and see how I'm doing, then okay. We ain't gotta be like that, but at least I return that energy.
Yeah.
And that's fair.
That is. I think sometimes too is just necessary, as all of you have said, just to be more intentional about the relationships that matter to you. So I don't know, Trinace likes her phone calls. I'm a chronic texter, so I have to force myself to call my girl because she don't like to text all the time. You know what I mean? And then I did go see her, but just some relationships that you want to grow, you just have to be more intentional with giving that time. Time is valuable, and when you decide to set aside time for somebody, that means that they're important to you and vice versa, right?
That's right.
So
What
yeah.
about y'all relationships when you're talking about time? Sometimes people don't realize that the time you give them is valuable. And how do you make them realize it? Because in their heads, and this goes to our partners more so than friends, because friends are more flexible with their expectations, but our partners. And I want to pose this question to each of you. As a woman in business and being a woman, and we have children and we have other things that we really have to take care of when it comes to that special relationship, do you find that you don't get to nurture it as much as you would like to, and it causes a problem in the relationship because there's an expectation when you're romantic with someone?
Not for me. If I'm speaking for I am speaking for myself. Not for me, because I made my mind up when I decided to see someone and I have someone special. Then that time, that when we're together, that's our time, and I'm going to make sure that I'm not uh what's once I lost my whole train of thought, but make sure that I'm not pairing his time or our time with anything else. I cut that time out specifically just for us. You know what I mean? And when it got to the point, or gets to the point where they don't realize how valuable that is, then stop giving it to them. What you mean?
What you mean?
Yeah.
And Rhonda, we are not laughing at you.
I know y'all laughing at Chance.
Yes, okay.
I see him.
I didn't know if you could see him because yeah. So just don't worry about that. It's not you.
That's all right. I see him.
But for me, it doesn't cause an issue, I guess, because we include the kids in everything that we do. And whenever we want that time together, we spend that time together. So it doesn't.
Oh, this getting good. I'm listening.
It doesn't cause a problem or anything. So it's like an unspoken rule. We gonna make time.
How old are your kids? I'm
15
trying to
and
talk
5.
so they can't. When I do this, they can't hear me, right?
No, I got you.
I'm just fucking with you. How old are they?
15 and 5.
With the 5-year-old, does it seem like y'all don't really get to be adults because the 5-year-old is still so young, or you get enough time to get away from that and actually be a couple?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah, because Maya's old enough where she's like, oh, well, I got him.
That's
You
good.
all can do whatever.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
Because I'm glad mine are older, because then you can just come and go. I got teenagers. So you come and go and it's not a big deal. But if I had a 5-year-old, because when mine were little, we didn't like, I was one of those mamas that was like, nope, we're not even going to act like we do not know. I don't even want the kids to even think that we do. No. You know
Really?
what I mean? Yeah, I'm a prude. I am a prude when it comes to that type of stuff. You know why? Y'all met my mama, right? Y'all, Auntie J. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that because she can hear me. She can hear me.
Okay.
So I don't want to traumatize them with the visuals and the sounds and none of that. So I just keep those two very separate.
Okay.
Very separate.
Well, I mean, time is my top love language. So if I create some time for you, then you are important. When you start being late for our time, I am disrespected. And if it happens too often, you don't even really like me. So when that starts to happen, then that just messes up everything for you. Just messes up everything for you because I start not answering phone calls.
Ooh, child.
I'm just saying, I know me. That's my personality. Okay. Respect my time. Don't be late. Show up when you're supposed to. And if you cannot, then let me know in advance.
Call.
Let me
That's right.
Right.
I think I was talking to my girlfriend about this. Men have no idea. Maybe you're Kim, you're married, so that might be different for you.
He still
they have
no
idea what it takes for us to get ready for them. You know what I'm saying? When we set aside that time that we know we're going to be with them 8 o'clock, we probably start getting ready about 6:30. We have to do our hair, our nails, whatever, makeup. If we're trying to be cute, whether we going out, we get our clothes together, even if we're at home, because men are very visual, right? So they like, you know, what they see to get their attention because they're visual. They have no idea what it takes for us to get ready for their stinky behinds when they acting up.
All the shaving and all the layers of scents we go through.
Girl,
all of that's what.
Yeah, his favorite perfume, stuff. His favorite color, our hair. He liked my hair like this. Girl.
And that is why we do not date at night unless I get to know you first. Because that's an investment of time. We go meet for coffee. We go meet for lunch, maybe, and then finally dinner. We not go just jump off into dinner because that's a lot of investment.
Wow. Y'all would not believe I am just finding this stuff out about Tracy. And I talked to her enough that I thought I knew. I'm gonna start taking me some notes so I can put these niggas on warning. Warning.
I mean, I'm too old to be playing with you.
That's true. I get that.
I'm too old to be playing with you. So we can meet out for coffee. We can talk on the phone. We can have some conversations before I decide I want to do all of that preparation for a date to eat with somebody that I don't even want to finish eating with. I want to just leave. I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to do that no more. Because the thing is, a couple of years ago, men were saying that women are just going out with them to eat. I can buy my own food. Just so you know. But I'm not going to buy my own food if you ask me out. Know that. Know that.
That's kind of an unspoken thing, right? Whoever does the inviting is offering to pay. And I think that's a safe thing.
So, I mean, the other safe thing is have an understanding there's a courtship. There's in dating there's courtship, and that part. I'm not saying you gotta wine me and dine me all the time, but I'm saying it's a courtship. Send me some flowers every once in a damn while. You know? Ask me out in advance. Don't just make me an afterthought. So what you doing tonight? You want to go out? No, because I'm gonna have to prepare for that.
That's right.
I gotta have a nap.
She went the safe way. Yeah, but then this. Yeah.
Wax.
Yeah, but when like
I saw the funniest video about waxing. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Coach Tony.
I was just about to say, but even that waxing, like when you're single, okay, you may miss a wax appointment now and then because we don't have the he could pop up any minute. You feel me, Kim? She talking about waxing. Single women, we kind of, sometimes we might get busy. So we have to like prepare all the way. What was the video on, Rhonda?
The lady was basically talking about, but she was actually singing this little tune about how waxing hurts and y'all lied and didn't nobody tell it was gonna feel like that. And she going on, she's singing this little tune, baby. And she's like, you lied, right? And then as the tune goes on, she say, but I like it. I'm going back. It was too funny. Oh shoot! I've never had a wax. I think I'm good.
Every 6 weeks.
Okay.
I can't imagine. Listen, I'm cool with a lot of stuff, but I just can't imagine being like, oh, okay, all right, go ahead, do your thing, like.
Yeah,
I just can't get that.
They just be holding the whole conversation.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Like, no,
girl, let me tell you.
Look at her. Look at this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's about how it goes.
Y'all fast. Y'all fast.
That's how that goes.
This right side is the side. We know those people over there. Where they at? They over there.
Yeah. And you know what? You're concerning me because you're supposed to be a Scorpio.
I am, but that's why. But look at the first thing I told you. That's the first place I went. I ain't go here talking about shade. I was like, okay, because that's got to stay smooth.
You a mess. Yeah. Y'all a mess.
But if you saving, you itching.
No, that's a. Well, I can't speak for nobody else's thing, but for me it don't work that way, because if you shave the way the hair grows, and my hair on my head, this grows like that on every part of my body. So when you shave it the way that it grows, it just grows back in like that. So it's no itching and scratching because I don't go the opposite way. I
itching and scratching.
I have perfected this. My daughter gets wax putting her, but yeah, she like that. But she also is like the lady you was talking about, Rhonda. Every time she's like, child, it's not worth it, and ain't nobody even gonna see it. I'm like, Dylan. But I'd be glad she throw that in. But I'm like, oh my God, Dylan. She's like, child, I don't know. But she getting it. Just like she get this waxed and whatever, eyebrows, she get. So
now that's probably what I need to have wax. And I do get my eyebrows waxed. I do get these.
I like threading. That's the best. Now, if I could get somebody to thread, I'd be like, okay, I'll try that.
Girl, let me tell you something. The first time that I had my eyebrows threaded, I thought somebody had cut my face in pieces. That shit hurt. I was like, what is happening? I'm not kidding. Woo, girl.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
And then you get used to it, and it's like, I don't want to handle that.
Right. But that first time was a mother.
But don't let them wax that lip.
Oh yeah, that thing is sore. Yeah, that's why I won't let it go nowhere else.
I tried the lip one time. I said never again.
Y'all know where I tried that made me stop right here. I grow little fine hairs, and I'm just like, everybody know they little imperfections, right?
Right.
Oh damn, this is recorded, ain't it?
You already got it out there now.
Anyway, yeah, whatever. It's just a, and when I got that, I thought she ripped my like the layer down to the white meat. I swore I was bleeding. And it was hot, and it was worse than this, Kim. Worse than that. It's horrible. Because you don't touch that very often. That's like your inner thigh. Put some wax on your inner thigh and see what happened. Not that I tried that. I'm just saying.
You just heard about it.
What I had heard was, so
hilarious.
Yeah.
Y'all a mess.
So I don't know that you all had the opportunity to read this article, but since we already here, we're gonna just dive right in. I found this article that says 6 signs. What is it? 6 signs that sex is more than just is more than 6 signs that sex is more than just sex.
Okay.
So, one sign was there's a solid connection outside of the bedroom. 2 was it's not the only thing that you two have in common. 3, sex is the icing, not the cake.
It's the icing, not the cake. Okay.
Yeah, it's the icing, not cake. 4, you're both careful with each other's feelings. 5, you feel like your partner is having sex. You're having sex with your partner. You feel like your partner is having sex with rather at you.
Okay.
And number 6 is things can end well.
What that mean?
So
what y'all think that means?
You be friends?
It means, when it's over with, what that portion says is if it ends, you all are still cool.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You can still be cordial.
Are y'all that with people y'all used to date or whatever, exes? Like, I don't understand keeping them around. I don't get that.
I can't seem to get rid of none of mine. Just damn.
Girl.
I ain't lying.
So y'all are friends, like real friends, like, hey, what's going on? And y'all talk about stuff and keep in touch?
Not to that level, no. Just more of a cordial. If they need something, they'll call me, ask a quick question or something. But
yes,
they can ask you a quick question.
What you say,
they can ask you a quick question.
Yeah,
they can ask you a quick question.
Yeah, they can call.
That I agree with, but I meant more like friends, because to me, you never really can get over somebody that you were connected with like that if you're still like hanging out with them. Like, I see people become best friends and then they move on. Like, somewhere it seems like in every relationship that is a heterosexual relationship, a woman and a man, one of them, even in friendships or whatever the connection is, somebody has an attraction somewhere. And it seems to me like I don't even like anybody that I'm dealing with to still be cool with the people they used to be with. That's just, I'm by cool, I mean, oh yeah, I'm going out with so-and-so because we still bowl together and we still do this together and that. And I think it's because I know a bunch of guys that ain't shit. And so when they do that, it's the overlay and they still dipping back. So I'm like, that's like I have anxiety when it comes to that.
I got you. So that's based on your past experiences.
Yes.
And that's fair. That's fair. But to that point of you saying, go ahead.
You were saying,
Tracy, I think you're on a delay because you like you're freezing every 2 or 3 seconds. At my screen anyway. I see you like Like one time Chance was behind you looking in the refrigerator, and then the next thing you know, it was like poof, he did like Auntie J. He was gone. You didn't see him move. So I think it's a little bit of a delay somewhere. Okay, Ron, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I noticed that and I wanted to let Tracy know. I think she got a little delay.
No, I was just saying to your point, and I'm still friends with my brother's ex-girlfriend. Now we were closer a while back than we are now, but just love her, and we used to hang out and everything together.
But you had that friendship before you became, I mean, you and her were friends before she dated your brother.
No, I met her
Oh, you
because
met
of
her
my
through
brother.
your brother?
Because of my brother.
So your brother, is your brother married now?
He's engaged now.
His fiance know that her future sister-in-law is still hanging with the ex.
Yeah.
Ooh, y'all some grown folks.
Yeah,
Y'all so
yeah.
grown. Y'all grown. I love that. I ain't that grown. At 29, I'm not that grown. Wow.
29 again. I think I'm friends with one ex. Me and him good friends, but I don't think his wife knows it.
Oh.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
That's interesting. But why wouldn't she?
Mm-hmm.
So, well, he and I, we dated for a good little while. And when we broke up, we still remained friends. And then he was seeing her. And it was obvious that he was happy with her. I could tell it in his voice. I was like, well, why won't you marry her? I mean, it's obvious you happy with her. And they eventually they got married. And he was like, I don't think she would understand our relationship. I was like, well, I don't know.
Okay.
Right, because she was in her prior marriage, he was a cheater. The prior guy she was married to was a cheater, so she may not understand that, but he could at least give her the chance to find out.
Well, he should have done that a long time ago.
Yeah.
You all should have met when they were dating.
Yeah, so
that's
I ain't gonna say where he is, but I won't see him because he in a place that's cold. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And when I go to that place that's cold, I don't be looking him up. I don't even tell him I'm there.
Okay. That's respectful.
Do you all have male business partners? Because I have a lot of male business partners because of the real estate side. You know, that's more of a male dominated industry with the contractors. And I know that we as women are coming up in that now, but I'm always, now I am really good friends with him. One of my business partners from before. So we're still good friends, and he's grown, but he and his wife have been married for, I don't know, I think their oldest son is almost 30. So they've been together for a long time, but they're on the verge of a divorce. That is the only reason I remain friends with him, because they live separate lives within the house. And it's known. It's known. That is the only way I remain friends with him, because I understood that they were not there. I will not be, and this is no shade to you. I love you, Tracy. And I know you got great intentions, but most women don't. True. When they're good friends with a man, especially a man that is engaged, married. They know how to pamper us. They know how to treat women. And then it becomes kind of a fantasy for the single woman. So for me, that's why I say you can't be friends with your ex, because even the business partner that I speak of, his wife, who don't even like his ass, they don't like each other. And she still has something to say about his friendship with me. But I always invite her to get on the phone, because she's very nasty with him. Like, Tell that bitch that's in Chicago, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, tell her to get on the phone. That's what we really can do. She can tell me herself what she thinks she got. She ain't got to pass no messages. So, and I'm always on her side. Like when they get into it about stuff and she'll say something like, I know you got a girlfriend or whatever. And I'm like, it's because you act like an ass. And she thinks that. So I try to stay a
neutral party.
Mutual, yeah.
And I definitely stay neutral because even him, he's not what I particularly care for in a man. And I know him too well. You know what I mean? That's the other side that as I'm getting older, I'm saying, well, maybe I could really be friends with a guy that, or I can see how people can be friends because at some point you grow up and everybody ain't appealing to you. Even what was appealing 15 years ago when y'all dated, it's not appealing now. So y'all might make me reconsider being friends with exes, but for now, it's a hard no for me.
Well, I mean, it's based on a person-to-person type situation. All of them, would I be friends with them? One of them, I said it as a nice gesture. Well, we can be friends, but that was after I broke up with him via text message. I know.
The text message breakup. Okay, Trinace.
That's going down in history with me. Every time she say that to me, I'm just like, Tracy, that's so wrong. That is so wrong.
That ain't
you really don't care. That is when you really don't care.
That's what I'm saying. I'd have been at your door like, the fuck you mean? Text message. You gonna say this in my face?
Well, I mean, the next day he was a nice guy. He just wasn't for me. It was just things in his character that wasn't for me. So, we could still be friends. And he was like, yeah, we'll still be friends until I realized I was like, I haven't seen his post on Facebook. I wonder if y'all. I was like, oh, he unfriended me. Well, he was the one that wanted to be friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be real with it. We done. We don't have to be friends. I'm cool with that. Don't make me no difference one way or the other. But don't be acting like you want to and you don't. Because a person like me, I don't care all that much.
So neither of you have a problem with pretending that a person has never existed to you?
No, I don't. I can see you, and then when you get past my peripheral vision, you don't exist.
I won't go that far as they never existed, because I do like what you're saying, Rhonda. That's why I was getting on your bandwagon with that. Yes, in that sense of, if you need something that I have access to, a resource or whatever, yes. Mm-hmm. But I meant I can't be friends with an ex.
I got you.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. And I take relationships very seriously, those. Yeah. So I can't really give you my all and then we part ways and then give my all to someone else. It's just not fair to the person that I'm currently seeing, because if I've been in a relationship with you, there is a connection, an emotional attachment. And if I'm calling it a relationship, all that other fun stuff, that's different.
I got you.
Those, yeah, we can be cool. Hey, like it never happened. But the real ones, we can't be friends like that. Okay. Unless I have children by you. My baby daddy, my ex-husband, I could be his friend, because for me, that would be better for the children. Mm-hmm. So for the sake of them, but there still has to be boundaries. That's what it is. I think when I'm friends with my exes, I can't keep the boundaries, because whatever that attraction was for me will potentially still be there. So I have to distance myself to give my new relationship a fair chance.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
That makes sense. But you don't exist. I mean, I could see you. If you needed me to help you, I would, but you just don't exist until I hear your voice again. I know. That's mean, right? But whatever.
Hey, to each
Oh
his
well.
Well,
own. Everybody has to handle. You have to do what's best for you.
yeah,
Yeah, that be my boundary right there.
Yeah.
That's it.
that's protecting my peace. That's what it is, Rhonda. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when I keep my distance because I know my weaknesses. So
Yeah.
why even play into them?
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
Definitely get it.
So would you all agree or disagree with those 6 things that they listed?
I guess they sounded okay. I guess they sounded okay.
I agree with when you said when you read each one, I don't remember them verbatim, but when you read each one, I was like, yeah, I get that. That is
Mm-hmm.
when sex is more than sex.
Yeah, that's a connection. Sex
Yes,
is one connection, that's the physical connection, but that just reads like an all around connection.
Right. It does. It does. And I think my favorite one when it says that a person is having sex with you and not at you. That's a whole different thing there.
Well, I don't know.
what
This
you mean you
says
don't know?
she don't know in the name.
What you mean?
I mean, I don't know.
You don't know what, Tracy?
I don't know. I don't know. We won't even talk about it on here because I don't want nobody to know.
Okay.
So I had wanted to play this song, but we'll do it another time. So I found another article: 10 things married couples wish they had paid more attention to while dating.
Uh-oh.
So Marcella, you're Coach Tony, you're divorced. Kim is married. Um, Rhonda, you are divorced and been engaged, and so we're gonna go over these and see how you all feel about it because I don't know. Um,
Again, you don't know.
no, I don't know. I ain't never been married, so no, I don't have an answer for that. Number one, their partner's real views on politics and religion.
Mm.
I don't care about that. No, I disagree with that.
Their partner's relationship with their parents.
That
Definitely.
makes a difference. Yes. It
Their
explains a
partner
whole lot. Go ahead.
their partner's perception on leadership and submission.
Yes.
How their partner handles stressful situations.
Absolutely.
That matters. Kim?
How
Yeah, are you still in this with us?
how their partner prioritize money.
Woo, yeah.
Their partner's sex drive.
Or lack thereof.
Well, tomato, tomato. Their partner's previous dating patterns.
No, I agree you need it, but I pay attention to that shit. I dissect that week by week who you
How
dated.
how important or not important romance was to their partner.
Okay.
How how consistent their partner is or was.
Mm-hmm.
And number 10, if they and their partner are truly friends or not. And here we are again back to the friendship thing.
But how do they know they're not consistent? Because you dated them um before you got married. I didn't get that one, but okay.
Yeah, I don't.
So
I agree.
so what y'all say? Those are those kind of good questions, that good things to know, or not really good things to know.
Yes, then definitely, especially the relationship with their parents, how they handle stressful situations, the money situation. Yeah, you're gonna need to know all that for sure.
Yeah.
So why is a relationship with their parents important to you?
Particularly for me, it's the relationship between that man and his mother. I think that tells you a lot. I'm not saying it tells you everything because situations are different, but I think that it would explain how he handles his relationship with women based on his relationship with his mother or lack thereof. I just do.
And I know that firsthand because it was the things that I saw in, and I will only claim the marriage. Everything else, okay. So that particular relationship, the way they interacted definitely reared its head in our relationship. And most times, you all may or may not agree, but most men date women that actually mimic their mothers, be it her personality, the way she looks, the way she talks, the way she acts, the way she just is.
Hmm.
And that is very telling. That definitely is. That's why I was like in that amen corner, because I thought it wasn't a big deal.
Hmm.
You know, you don't get along with your mom, okay, so what? You get along with me. That's all I'm worried about. No, no. Let me sit back and really look at this and dig into the reason y'all don't get along. And I'm gonna say to take the step further, how he treats the women in his family, period.
Yeah.
Because that will show you, that will show me your limitations that will be set for the women that are in my family, and the women in my family are important to me.
Hmm.
I have a
Mhm.
family full of matriarchs. We don't have a lot of men in the family, so women are important. And so if you are dismissive to women in your family, that shit not gonna go well when you come this way about women in my family.
You know, when you're talking about men not getting along with their mothers, or if there's a situation, because our mothers, to be clear, are not motherly, right?
Mhm.
Some women have no business having children, right?
I
And
agree.
if you have met a man who unfortunately has grew up in one of those situations, they may not trust you to love them, right? So, and that just creates a whole different type of dynamic in your relationship with him. So it just matters.
I think it's the same for women and not having their fathers in the house.
Yeah,
There's a certain thing that's missing for women, and
definitely.
it's nothing that the uncles can do, the cousins. And you can have strong men with great personalities and great men, spiritual men, whatever, very good role models, but there's still something about that girl's father
Hmm.
that she does need. You can't force him to be in her life, but I do believe that.
Yeah, that's true. I'm one of them women who never had her actual father in her life. So yeah, you're right.
Ooh, we
Something is
should talk
always
about that
missing.
next week.
Yeah, it
Because
makes a
that's
difference.
interesting to me. I don't think that's spoken about enough, because it's so many women and we are the head of the households. What really is the effect of that father being gone? Um,
It definitely impacts our choices. Definitely
I
impacts the
believe
type
that.
of the choices that we make when it comes to romance and understanding what a provider really is, because your mama was the provider, my mama was the provider, your mama. So we grew up in a household where our mothers were the providers. So a man coming along to provide is difficult for us to receive. Like I've been saying, I've been practicing my damsel in distress. That's hard to be the damsel when you used to saving yourself.
yeah.
Mm.
It's just difficult.
I think that whole dynamic makes me hold on to my relationships tighter, if that makes sense. Not necessarily that they're the right ones, but just to hold on to them because, that what is missing or what has been missing, that void, So yeah.
Yeah.
What you got, Kim?
You with us?
Whatever she doing over there must be good. Is you talking to your hubby?
No, he's sleeping right now.
Oh, let's say, 'cause we ain't getting no love.
I was looking for this song.
Are you gonna sing for us?
Child, no.
So I think we should consider that, Tracy. Maybe we want to piggyback off of that topic next week. The effects of
Yeah,
parents being missing in households.
That was yeah. I wrote that down, and it will pair up with some of the things that I was thinking this week, because we got thrown into the mix with Will bitch slapping Chris Rock. I think it was unnecessary. I believe in protecting your wife, but I also believe that she should have protected him and told him, not this way, not right now. Let's deal with this a different way. That's just my thought.
Now he looking all embarrassed, and his mama speaking for him. Oh, he's never done that before. And what's his son name? Jaden? Is that the? Jaden. Yeah, he all on Twitter talking about that's how we do. Boy, sit your crazy looking self down.
And that ain't how y'all do.
That's not how y'all do.
How y'all do. We know soft when we see soft, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
And it's okay if you are. It's okay if that's your person. It really is. We're not judging you. I like a kind man, but I want to know you will slap somebody if you
please.
Yeah.
If you have
somebody on Facebook was saying that Will was gonna get some that night for sure. I think that was Michelle.
Yeah, I like a kind man, but I like to know, you go defend me, but you don't have to defend me in a situation like that. Go ahead on and laugh. Let's talk about this in a safer space.
Yeah.
So, ladies, it's been an hour.
All right.
It passed by so quickly.
That's because we live and popping on this thing.
Right. Right.
So you all should be joining me on Sundays at 5 p.m. where I am talking all business. I want to start, it's a business live on Instagram. That's the Instagram at ABM_wealth_T. And
follow you.
5 p.m. on Sundays. And I am always talking business. I take topics basically from personal credit, and it's all just talking. It's free information, but I'm trying to enlighten everybody that is in my circle. Nobody should be broke in my circle. Nobody. So it goes from, and if I know you do a lot of stuff, Rhonda, I would love for us to collaborate one and introduce you to folks and talk about what you do, because I think if we all spotlight each other's talents, then that is what this is really about. For me, This is for people to know the personal side of me, because that side is so different than who I am inside my four walls. So,
okay.
And this is what and that is what the collective is about, and that's a great way for us to end Women's History Month, supporting and sharing what I like to call my popsicles, because some of us
popsicles.
Huh?
Why you call popsicles?
Because some of us were raised where when we went grocery shopping, we couldn't take our treats outside because we would have to share with everybody else. You don't want to have to share your stuff with them.
I see. Yeah.
it created a selfishness, and I think that level of selfishness grew up into us. So that's why I say sharing our popsicles, because it's good information.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tracy is there every Sunday, and the crowd is growing, but it's not a lot of people yet. I think people are so. Uh, what is the catch? There's no catch. You just gonna catch this knowledge and be able to level up if you want to. That's what the catch is. So it's there. I'm here for the people.
Before we end, can I say something on a very serious note? Here in St. Louis, over the spring break week, have unfortunately had several parents who have lost their children. The gentleman, the young
Mhm.
man who fell from the roller coaster in Florida, he was from St. Louis. We had my daughter um, lose one of her someone that she grew up with from an ATV accident. He was hit. It was a hit and run. And then we just had two teens that was an accidental shooting, just playing with guns. I just want to say that definitely praying for those families, because it has been a rough week here in St. Louis. Seriously,
Wow. Yep.
it's been terrible.
All right, Kim, you just gonna tell us good night?
Yeah, because it's 10 o'clock my time. It's my bedtime.
Kim, you almost the youngest person here. I'm 29, and how old are you? You should be able to say it.
I'm
Later.
46.
Oh, well, then I am the youngest person here. Okay. All right. Well, I'm ready, ladies, when you guys are to sign off.
All
And I'm
right,
going
good
to
night,
bed.
everybody. We'll see
Good
you
night.
guys
It was
See you
a
at the
again.
pleasure
top.
to see you, ladies.
Thank you.
See
Good
you
night.
next Tuesday.
All right,
All
8
right,
o'clock.
good night.